take it from there.
All right, sweet. Shall we then?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by
John Holzer,
Jason Harris,
Greg Nickel,
and we have the fruits of Jason's labor on the show today.
I drove so goddamn much to get this beer, you guys.
And we are grateful for it, certainly. What are we drinking here, Jason?
We've got a bunch of beer from Alpine Brewing Company in eastern San Diego County, kind of in the mountains.
Yeah. Alpine from Alpine.
From Alpine, the city of Alpine. It's a
long drive.
They've been around forever. They're an elder statesman. I was staying in Carlsbad, and it was a 55-mile drive from Carlsbad to Alpine each way. So, but I knew they would have bottles out there, and so drove out there. And the crux of all this, so we're drinking a growler right now. And
we are drinking Hoppy Birthday.
Hoppy Birthday, which is a hoppy pale ale.
I believe we
It's
had
502.
Hoppy Birthday on the show before.
We did. We the last time I was at Green Flash, I raved about the fact that you could get Alpine growlers there.
That's right. Yes.
And so this is from Green Flash, growler of Hoppy Birthday.
So you went to both Green Flash and Alpine for Alpine.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the basic gist of it is, for those who don't know, Alpine has been, an elder statesman of San Diego craft beer.
San Diego IPA specifically.
Yeah, for IPA, they've considered one of the best hoppy breweries. And I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I didn't buy any non-IPAs from them because I'm not really a fan.
Ichabod was a good.
they have a cult following with their
Ichabod
IPAs.
the Sour, that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They haven't made it since 2009.
Well, I've never had it, so.
It was so good.
Yeah. Wait, didn't they make it one time? Just
Yeah,
like
it became
year
a
ago?
pumpkin porter. It used to be a pumpkin sour, and it became a pumpkin.
I remember
porter.
the sour beer, but I should say that they have like the Mandarin Orange like wheat beer that's really good.
Mandarin Nectar.
Yeah, they've got
Willy,
Alpine. Yeah, they got-
Token. Their
The Irish
sours.
Red's really good.
Michelinie's Irish Red.
Yeah, the Alpine Ale, which is just like their pale ale, is killer. However, they are known for IPA. That's
their sours have been making waves right now. You know, Kiwi Herman kind of blew up the Wales Bro scene a couple months ago, and their Token Porter does okay. Their barley wine is pretty popular.
Great.
Yeah, but
They also did. Did they just do Did they do super stupid sexy Flanders, or was that someone else or did they just do Flanders?
They've done a Flanders beer, but the stupid sexy Flanders was Carl Strauss, actually. Believe it or not.
That's kind of lame.
Well, it's still.
He's like, I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
But so they were recently acquired by craft beer, San Diego craft breweries, kind of blowing up throughout the nation. Green Flash, proprietors of West Coast IPA and other beers.
Hophead Red and Double Stout.
Yeah, the
Palate Wrecker.
Palate Wrecker. Yeah.
I think
Soul
West Coast
Style.
IPA is pretty. In my travels, it's pretty ubiquitous.
Yeah.
It's everywhere now.
Yeah,
So-
that's their claim to fame.
and a great beer, great IPA.
Is Silva Stout part of the Cellar 3?
It is
Yeah,
now,
so
yeah.
they've branched off their barrel program to a separate facility now. It's off in Poway. It's
Poway,
actually
yeah.
pretty far away. It's a good 20-minute drive from the main brewery.
Yeah, shit. But besides the point, so we got some the Alpine beers from Green Flash. How long ago did that happen? That was like what, a year ago almost?
So
Earlier in the year, right?
initially, Alpine was contract brewing their kegs out of Green Flash.
Right.
So they were
Trial run.
basically, a trial run of contract brewing, and then they were full on acquired. And in the interim time, it's been about a year, I think.
Yeah.
In the interim, Alpine has opened a new pub that's much nicer, much more expensive, but also
The cool
much
thing about
nicer.
them being acquired too was it allowed them more cash flow to pay their employees benefits, some kind of a 401k kind of deal. Because Alpine before was a very, very small operation.
Shoestring, sure.
Yeah, and so this is just a big cash injection, and it's getting Alpine out there to more people, and it's benefiting the company a lot. So it's not like a normal, like macro buyout where they just buy the brand and then they just they take the beers and they dumb them down and mass distribute. It's all about It's about making more money, obviously, but
Oh, for sure.
it's helping the employees too at the same time, and the business and Alpine Brewing itself. So.
Right. Of course, when a larger brewery, no matter if it's, not massive large, like Budweiser large, even just, Green Flash large, if a small brand like Alpine gets bought, then everyone starts bitching about how the beer isn't going to be better.
And so what's weird is there's a long-standing terminology, and I'm trying to remember where I heard about it, but they call it the small brewers catch-22, which is you are making money doing what you're doing, but you're not making enough money that you can afford to expand to the next level. Like, you may be able to pay your costs, but if you want to expand, it requires much more money than you're bringing in at your size.
Right.
You don't have the capacity to bring in the pile of money you need to get up to the next step.
Right.
And so, a lot of breweries take investors. I mean, probably most of the breweries that we're seeing that are big take some sort of investor.
Sure, definitely.
And what's weird is that when that investor is a brewery, people are like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I think even, and we haven't talked about this yet, but Firestone was just bought out by Duvel.
Well, they
bought out.
they weren't bought out.
It's a different,
Yeah,
Kind of.
they said that it was like
situation.
an investment thing. Like how much did Duvel actually buy?
I think they're now a partnership in the business. I don't think they bought it.
If they're a partner, then they bought a portion. Partnership partnership indicates purchasing a portion of the business. I'm wondering how much they actually bought, because if
Not
Duvel,
like Alpine though. Alpine was purchased.
outright. Yeah.
Right.
So, but with like the whole like Duvel
don't know the
Firestone thing,
amount.
yeah, I imagine it was like the question with
enough to
that,
matter.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The question is, did they buy 30% or did they buy 51%?
It wasn't disclosed in everything I read,
Yeah. So
so.
that's kind of another discussion.
Well,
But
the way they're making it sound is it's a partnership kind of thing, and I mean, you got to take it for what it is. And it sounds like Firestone's just going to operate as Firestone, except they're going to have this really awesome
Pool of money.
And look at what they've done for Boulevard, though. I mean, if you look at Boulevard, they had the same kind of situation happen, same buyer even. Duvel and Mortgott. It sounds villainous, that's for sure.
Well, Duvel is devil, and Mortgott means like got death.
Yeah. But so it's very villainous.
Boulevard, it's business as usual.
But Boulevard is making the same beer as just as well, except for now it's everywhere. It's they just expanded their reach.
And I have no doubt that that's how it's going to be. It's just like if I were, part of the business deal, my concern would be, they say it's a partnership, and like right on, good for you using your frilly corporate language. Okay, but the thing is like there are different kinds of partnerships. Okay, there is a 49% partnership and there is a 51% partnership. You know what I mean? They're both partnerships, but with one of them, they can say, no, you're doing this and you have no choice.
Well, what's your concern?
You know what I mean? There really isn't. I mean, the smart thing that they're
do you really think
to do.
Duvel's going to come in and say, "Hey, Firestone, you're doing this wrong"?
No, I don't.
Because I don't think Firestone's doing a goddamn thing wrong right now. They're successful with everything they do. It seems.
I don't. But conceptually, it's not insignificant. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
And that's the thing. Is like it doesn't. If they bought 51%, the smart thing for them to do, and which is probably going to happen, is they're still going to make exactly the same beer. They're still going to let them run pretty much how they've been running. They're just going to be taking more of the money.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Do you have any insight on this?
Yeah, there was two issues really. One of them was Firestone Walker had this really bad water treatment thing that the whole city of Paso Robles smelled like complete shit because of Firestone Walker.
Really?
And Firestone Walker was just throwing money at fixing this thing for months and months and months. And I mean, $30,000 a day. I mean, for I don't know how long.
This is for their waste, I would assume.
Yeah, it was the waste treatment.
Yeah,
before it goes back out. It was like the digesters or whatever they're called.
Yeah, anaerobic
anaerobic. Yeah, exactly. So it was a big issue with that. It's all resolved now.
Right.
But I would imagine that really put a huge dent in their business.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, I've toured the brewery many times over the years now, over the past 3 years, and they're pretty solidly cramped. I mean, they have to make to make another step, they have to make a big investment into a brew house.
Right.
And there's no way that's going to happen without
Duvel.
Some big brother coming in and helping out a little bit.
Right.
So two major issues I see that maybe played into that.
Yeah.
And with a company like Duvel, who has a proven track record in the industry, they've done well by Boulevard, who's another large regional brewery.
They make good beers themselves.
There's a lot less risk. I think there's it's a lot more soothing, at least as a consumer, than if they, got a big pile of money from such and such venture capital company, because that was how, Magic Hat got Hostile taken over, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were ever good. It was before my time, but the owner of that company got pushed out because he didn't read the paperwork right and let a bunch of investors come in, and they took the controlling share, and they're like, now it's our company. You're no longer employed here.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like, I have no doubt that Duvel is going to do the smart thing and essentially let them produce the quality beer that they already have. It's just if it was my business and I had someone buy 51%, immediately it's not your business anymore. And so that I don't know any of the details of the deal. It's just I think that is significant. Is it still Firestone's company or is it now Duvel's company?
Well,
I don't
like
think
I said,
really
if you
and they call it a partnership and that's great language, but we don't really know.
Look at Ommegang and Boulevard. I'm pretty sure they're still the same breweries pretty much, except I think maybe the effect and that Duvel has on them is on the back end that consumers don't really see.
Yeah.
As far as maybe how to run a business, being more efficient and stuff like that, where Greg, you brought up the wastewater thing, and I know that was something that they took care of, but maybe if Duvel was involved, they have the experience to say, we know how to deal with this, and maybe you wouldn't have spent $30,000.
And
we're going to bring in an engineer from Belgium.
Sure.
That also solves potential legal issue problems. Suppose that they're going to get sued or, the city. You never know.
Yeah.
So that definitely gives them some backbone.
Yeah, for sure.
To the deal.
Regardless, we're
we've got good beers.
Yeah, now that we've delved into the Firestone thing on our Green Flash and Alpine,
it was worth bringing
topical.
up. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's true.
So what I've seen, the reaction to the Green Flash buyout from the beer hipsters has been pretty terrible.
Yeah.
One of the big complaints we've seen is that Alpine is now started to become available everywhere.
Right.
You can get Alpine kegs. People in Arizona, Pennsylvania, whatever. It's popped up all over the country now.
Right.
And so, in the vein of Guess That Brew, a unnamed website had a thread titled "Huge Disappointment."
Of course it did.
So I finally got to try Alpine's Duet and Nelson this week. I've read the reviews and always wondered if I would ever have the chance to try them. When I saw both on the local tap list, I was ecstatic in anticipation to have them. In the end, I was unexpectedly underwhelmed by both. Thin, weak-tasting beers. I get that I'm in the minority, at least the ratings say so, but I can think of a lot of other IPAs I'd rather have than these. So my question is, what beers have you been let down by? And then the responses are, I would try the ones brewed by Alpine before you make up your mind. Green Flash's fault? That's what a lot of people say. So basically the whole thing is just like, Green Flash sucks, it's their fault, Alpine rules. So that's what we're here to fucking solve, guys.
We will find out for sure. Because we're
going in.
Going in.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is we're going to get. We don't know which beers are coming.
We're doing a going in.
Well, we should know that it's Nelson and Duet.
Well, I told Yvonne's going to set all this stuff up for us.
That.
Yeah, if we can't tell, I guess.
But I said
we're dumb.
to make sure she knows which one is the growler and which one's the bottle, basically.
Yeah.
But keep them the same. Like, I didn't want her to bring us like a Duet and Nelson.
Yeah, for sure.
We'd just be all fucked up.
It should be noted that Jason, you bought these both as fresh as possible.
These were bought Thursday. It is Saturday.
Okay,
so the bottles were pulled from the brewery, and the growlers are filled at Green Flash on Thursday afternoon. And I brought them back today. So yeah, these are 48 hours from the brewery to here.
Sweet.
And so let's talk about Happy Birthday real quick before we bring those out. Happy Birthday, brewed at Green Flash, tasting great.
Dang K.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got this real nice, super nice sweetness, and then it just finishes piney resin.
Yes, super pine resin, like in your face pine resin for sure.
And it lasts for a pale ale. I mean, it's crazy bitter.
Am I getting diacetyl or is it just me?
No, it's just you.
No, I got it.
You did?
Yep.
Shit, I didn't get diacetyl.
But not a slickness, just a...
Yeah, it has a little bit of like candy, like kind of
butterscotchy.
sweetness a little bit, yeah.
Not offensive.
Jason?
I don't know if I'd see that.
No?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I'm getting kind of a traditional danky sea hops kind of beer.
Yeah,
although
I'm definitely getting a lot of like Columbus sort of thing. But yeah, no,
I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'm glad it was just me. Me and my diacetyl mouth. I'm never really sure.
I have diacetyl mouth too. Matt and I were just making out, and now I've got his diacetyl disease.
God, we should not have kissed with tongues.
D pants.
Fuck diacetyl. I mean, maybe it's good where it belongs, but damn it, with beer.
Yeah.
Hey, diacetyl, fuck off, right?
So this was. Do we want to open up?
We're gonna bookend. We're gonna finish with pure hoppiness. It's 8.5%. So,
all right, so I would assume the beers are gonna show up anytime
we've got
now.
a bottle of pure hoppiness that is gonna be our finisher. So the weird thing is, Hoppy Birthday they don't bottle. So the only for sure way of knowing which one is brewed where is that all the bottles are brewed at the small, tiny Alpine facility in Alpine. Still.
Okay, that's good to know.
But nobody could tell me for sure that if I got a growler filled at Alpine, whether or not it was actually the kegs were made there or if the kegs were made at Green Flash. So we're just comparing bottles to growlers. Bottles from Alpine to growlers from Green Flash.
Yeah, that's a good way to go. I mean, you work with what you got. So
that's fair.
All right, so we're waiting. I sent her a text 3 minutes ago that said beers in 3 minutes. So...
Alpine. The green flash. Alpine. The green flash. Alpine.
By
Alpine.
Mr. Nagel.
Thank you for that, Greg. That was nice.
You spent a good 15, 20 minutes working on it since he's been
it's
here.
just
At least.
Garage band.
you try things.
Yeah.
You try things. Just be like,
Green Flash and Alpine.
Here we go.
Green Flash and Alpine. Green Flash. Green.
Regular Reggie fucking Watts over here.
Green.
Except without the sweet loops.
He could do loops.
yeah, there's
Ish. They're not live.
Green Flash.
Green. Alpine. The green flash.
It's just a mess.
Green Flash and Alpine.
Oh, and the beers have arrived. Perfect.
Would they be?
Green Flash and Alpine. Green Flash.
Okay, so Yvonne.
Is this a Nelson or duet?
Or both. I'm guessing they're both, considering that there's apparently 8.
No,
There's 2 tasters of 4 beers.
Oh. That would make sense.
Bergfest glasses.
or 4 tasters of 2 beers.
Eddie, scooch, go.
Jason said 2 tasters of 4 beers.
4
2
tasters.
each for 4 of us.
Wait, we got it.
So,
So which is which?
Is it the short ones or one and the tall ones or the other? Because that's really clever if it is.
Yes, that's what I did.
Nice.
Sweet.
microphone if you want to talk, Yvonne.
Oh. I was like, which one's which? I'm not supposed to tell you guys.
So cleverly served in different glasses. That's actually really smart.
There you
A good way to tell them apart.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi.
What?
Hi.
go.
Hi.
Hey, there you are.
Speaking of hoppy birthday,
hello to
this
our porous Yvonne. Hello.
So, Yvonne,
guys.
which beer is this?
This is Duet.
Duet.
Duet. Duet known
Duet.
for the combination of
Simcoe
Simcoe and
Amarillo.
Amarillo. Yes,
Yeah, man.
the classic combination.
this is my
so-
default homebrew recipe.
These are in different containers, but there's a pretty clear color and clarity
It's like
difference.
pretty
One or-
distinct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 or 2 SRM for sure.
Yeah, you've got our tall glass is a little bit darker and clearer
Bergfest.
for sure. Yeah, the Frickfest glass. And our smaller stone taster is a little dark or a little
bit lighter,
a
shade
little
lighter.
cloudier.
A little cloudier. Yeah, I mean, like the different glassware, yes, but the thickness of these, like the diameter of these glasses are pretty close. So
Yeah.
there shouldn't be this big of a color difference.
The stone glass is definitely a little cloudier.
It's way lighter.
Definitely going to call it just on the appearance.
really?
Don't do that. No, don't do that.
You totally could.
I won't say anything, but
Okay.
you can. Just
No, I won't. But you know what I'm thinking, though.
She's like, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to say something.
Clear as Green Flash.
Stop! Shut up!
Don't do
Shut
that.
Up. Shut it!
Just saying.
Shut it!
You're probably right.
Now, which one was the one that was in the bottle?
The bottle is the one brewed at Alpine, and the growler was the one brewed at Green Flash.
Now, don't tell us which is.
So, believe it or not, my past experience with Nelson from Green Flash was that it was much cloudier. What I heard was something about they don't filter it at either place, but they have the system of naturally clearing the beer out down better at Alpine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they at Green Flash, I imagine it's designed for filtration. So.
Right.
Okay, so let's try the Ferkfest glass first.
Ferkfest Tall Glass is Tall Glass a Duet.
Smells pretty good.
Got a big, nice aroma.
Definitely that classic Simcoe Amarillo combination.
Yeah, the Simcoe really pops.
Smells kind of like weedy, like not like
Danky?
not marijuana, but weeds in your like backyard.
Like wicked weed.
The wicked weed.
Wide.
Really clean. Nice maltiness.
Super clean.
Yeah, not super clean. Not getting any kind of like diacetyl or weirdness.
What do you think of the mouthfeel of it? Seems a little on the thin side to me.
No, I disagree. I think it's got nice balance. Honestly, I think it's pretty full.
Yeah, that's a solid ass IPA.
It's textbook. Yeah.
Again, old school. Everything Alpine is really your old school IPA. You're not seeing Alpine beers a mosaic in them. You know,
Yeah,
like they're
for sure.
They're sea hops. They're Amarillo. They're
Which is funny because it kind of in contrast to what you're saying, they were one of the first ones to really do Nelson
Right.
for reals.
Which is
you
funny,
know?
yeah. They kind of popularized Nelson, at least in this area, and then but they haven't really embraced.
Yeah, nothing
new
else
hops.
they do. Yeah, nothing else they do really like does the New Zealand or like the Nouveau hop thing.
And this got a big bitter bite too.
Oh,
like
yeah, for sure.
I can still taste it on my palate. Just
Yeah.
got bitterness.
Me too.
So
Which I love, but you
right.
don't get on your modern gen
I
IPA.
renege on my my clearliness thing. I definitely thrown for loop now.
You mean you renegel?
I reneged on
reneged,
that.
yeah.
I definitely could see this as a definite Alpine
Yeah,
contender.
I just took a taste of the stone glass, and they're different.
Yeah, the
They're
aroma
different.
on the stone glass seems a lot fruitier.
More muted too.
Could be the glass.
I don't get as much nose on it though.
I don't know. I don't think it's the glass. It has a different malt character. It seems toastier.
A little bit less bitter.
Yeah, it doesn't linger as much.
Yeah, I thought that too. Less bitter.
more citrus.
Yeah, I can see that.
less Simcoe-y.
Yeah. It could also be noted. It should be noted that these could also be two different lots of hops, which could radically change the flavors.
That's true.
So that is. I mean, they could be using the exact same recipe, and if they're using different hops from like different fields, then the flavor could change pretty significantly.
I think we're just looking for, is it better or is it worse?
Yeah.
I want to
So-
know both. I want to know if it's better, worse, or just different.
Yeah, we're
and
here. Like, let's break it down.
To be honest, the short glass is a muted beer compared to the big glass. The big glass, I'm getting more bitterness, more aroma, more punch.
I disagree.
Really?
Completely. Yeah, I think that there isn't quite the same aroma to the short glass, but I like the flavor better. I think it has more of like a citrusy pop. I think it's livelier. I think it's not quite as bitter, which I think is a good thing, because I think the short glass still has a really nice, like, firm bitterness, but it doesn't weigh on my palate quite as much. I think the short glass, for lack of a better term, is more elegant. You know, so the short glass is my preference personally.
The tall glass is the more aggressive beer for sure.
That's true.
And I like that. I appreciate that about the beer.
I can see
but
that.
it's got more character. Like, I mean, I drink a lot of fucking IPA. Like a retarded. I filled the entire backseat of my car with IPA on the way home this week.
Yes, you did.
Literally cases of IPA from San Diego. And just the tall glass has like a nice character, a nice bite. It hits you. I really like it.
Yeah, I think qualitatively, honestly, I don't think one is better quality than the other. I couldn't say that for sure.
But they taste they don't taste like the same beer.
That's true.
I
That
think
is
the nose
definitely
on, the nose on the short glass just isn't there compared to the other
No,
one.
it's very muted.
And for an IPA, I'm really looking for that nose, man.
What do you sit, John?
The short glass has that, like I said, it's weedy to me. It's like weeds, like milkweed, kind of like you smell if you're like chopping weeds down in your backyard kind of thing, and it kind of tastes the same way. It does kind of have a bigger body to it. It's that whole hop character, I think, is really kind of heavier in the short glass on the taste for me. And I like it. This is clean. This is bitter. I think you're right.
This being the tall glass.
The tall glass is more bitter. Sorry, radio.
Audio show, John.
But it's cleaner, and I don't miss that weedy dankiness like the weed taste.
Right.
Weeds, not marijuana, but
Yeah.
weeds. Like
So
it's hard to say because I feel like I agree. I think Alpine's awesome. Green Flash is also awesome. They're good in their own ways. They're just different beers. I'm surprised how different they are for
Me
being
too.
called the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's very significant is like
They're
they're
two different beers.
two different beers. I
Yeah.
think they really are.
But honestly, you can't really hold that against Green Flash because this is still something that they're dialing in. I think. Come on, dude. It's going to take a while. I think.
A year though. A year.
I think it'll take longer.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think they should have figured it out by now. They really should have figured this out.
How many
by now,
batches do you think they brewed at Green Flash of Duet? On their scale.
I have no idea.
I don't think it's a whole lot.
But what are they doing? 50 barrels at a time? So like, what do we think? Like 20?
You think 20?
Sure.
I think it's more like
They're brewing 24
6 or
hours
7.
a day. No, I would say it's more
no,
than
they're
that.
brewing 24 hours a day, but I think it's mostly
still,
Green Flash beer,
yeah,
not
of course,
Alpine beer.
Sure it
No,
is,
they're
but-
cranking out a ton of Alpine beer.
Really?
It's everywhere now. Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
would think it would be a really solid volume, but I mean,
Well, I mean, I'm not coming to Green Flash's defense saying, oh, give them time. I don't know.
Yeah.
So unless we got like Nelson and Duet here on accident, this is a pretty big surprise. They're both Duet, right?
The way John set it up.
they're both Duet, right?
yes.
Well, now I'm questioning it. No, this is the way you set it up.
For the record, neither
Give me a minute.
it was Duet it was Duet and Nelson, right?
Yeah.
I don't get Nelson out of either one of these.
No,
At all.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
She knows what she was doing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was very
No,
clear.
just they're so different. I'm
I
just
don't,
like,
well, no, but other thing, I don't get the Nelson hop out of either
Yeah.
one of these, and so I would be shocked if one of these was Nelson, like really shocked.
That's the ultimate troll, though.
I was going to say, I don't want to troll you guys, but the short glass definitely has a gooseberry character to it.
I did it right.
All right.
okay.
They're both Duet.
Yvonne did it
All right.
right.
I was fine.
Okay, good.
Green Flash.
Give me a little bit of anxiety.
Okay, so do we want to do the reveal?
No,
which
but
one's which?
hold on.
I want you guys to guess.
The fact that she had to go double check just speaks to how
Yeah.
different these beers
Yeah,
are.
I agree.
No,
Where we were
no,
like,
no.
are you sure these are the same beer?
Yeah,
I agree.
They're totally different beers.
Yeah. That's a good question. Do we want to do the reveal now, or do we want to do the next set and then do the reveal?
Let's do the
Do the
reveal.
reveal now. What
Yeah,
am I
for
standing
sure.
here
We're doing a
for?
different beer.
For beer number one, which was tall, which was short?
Okay.
Which one was?
No, you guys have to guess, no?
Green Flash.
Honestly, we were just gonna say which one we liked better.
Let's guess.
Yes. What am I standing here for?
I think the
All right.
tall glass is Alpine, the clear tall glass is Alpine, and the short glass is Green Flash.
Okay, so
Wait, can you refresh me again? Which one is the one
The,
that's
the bottle.
Alpine
The bottle
is the
was
bottle.
Alpine.
Yes.
the bottle?
I think we all
is
agree with
let's
that.
just say
Alpine,
which one's
Alpine.
which
And
one's
then
the bottle,
Green
which
Flash.
one's the
Green Flash.
growler.
Growler is Green Flash.
I think we all agree with Jason.
Okay, say it again, Jason.
I think the Ferkfest glass is Alpine, and the short glass is Green Flash Alpine.
No.
No,
I
it's the
was going to
opposite?
disagree with you too.
All right.
Really?
Yes.
So my visual was
Oh.
correct.
Really?
Okay.
this is Alpine.
All right. So the cloudier
So
one
the,
was
the
Alpine.
short glass, the cloudier one is Alpine.
And when you
Cloudier-
brought up the cloudy thing, Greg, I immediately thought of the last time I was at Alpine, and I thought, wow, these beers are very fucking cloudy.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
Wow.
It
I
makes
would've
you,
really thought the
question
more-
whether or not you like Alpine beer.
Well, the more bitter, the more aggressive one is. It feels like more in character with Alpine, and that was kind of why I assumed them.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty good though. I
again,
mean,
I've had Nelson from Green Flash. That was super cloudy.
Told you,
So-
I like the smaller glass better, so I'm in line with the hipsters.
So the smaller glass was Alpine.
Yep.
Yeah. That was
and
the bottle.
I could definitely see myself drinking a lot more of the Alpine one.
Yeah.
I think that the Simcoe one kind of cloys a little bit.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is
No, I'm
like
going
this,
back.
it seemed the small glass, the Alpine version, just seemed more balanced.
Subtle.
It seemed it had more like subtlety, more nuance. You know, that
But the
was.
nose-
I'll
Just
say
isn't
that
there.
the short glass, the
And the
Alpine,
nose isn't there. Yeah.
the Alpine was definitely more complex. It had more stuff going on, and that's why I was kind of questioning whether or not I liked it, because it was like, man, this tastes like
Yeah.
weeds to me.
Yeah.
And not that I meant that in a bad way. It was just challenging.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we all agree pretty much universally that the nose is better on the Green Flash version. I mean,
Yep.
it's way more aromatic.
It's
more
darker. It's darker. It's clearer, and it's way more aromatic.
Yeah.
The Green Flash version.
no doubt.
But the Alpine version, again, I preferred that bitter, dark character from the tall glass. But
Yeah.
it is very, outside of which one we prefer, though, it's very telling how different they are.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I wouldn't guess that was the same beer.
yeah. Shall we move on to the Nelson?
We're gonna do Nelson,
Sweet.
and I've had Nelson a lot more than I've had Duet. So
Nelson.
we'll see how this goes.
One
Yeah.
child from you.
Give me a minute because they're not.
That's great. We'll fill time.
Was that backwards?
One child from you.
No,
It's
he's
backwards.
saying have one a child near.
One child from you.
Have one a child near.
Is this the
Green
devil?
Flash and Alpine.
Green Flash and Alpine.
Matt's translating. He's like on Galaxy Quest, Sigourney Weaver, who has to just repeat the computer. I have one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm just gonna do it. Her job is to like repeat to what the computer says. Like, computer, they'll be like, take us up to 1,000 knots, and she'll be like, computer, take us to 1,000 knots. Dumb.
Computer.
Galaxy Quest, great film. You should see it.
Oh,
You should fucking see it. So we have a very similar situation, which is that
The beers look totally different.
they
The
look
blend is
very
quite
different.
nice.
Yeah.
You want to try the blend?
Yeah. Will it blend?
Will it blend?
Nelson does. Don't breathe this.
Did you make a Nelson song, Greg? Or is it-
No.
for the
I'm just-
record, I want to point out, like you keep making Will It Blend references. I actually own a Blend Tech blender.
You do.
It's
no way.
Yeah,
I
it's
always wanted one of those.
it's fucking badass. The only problem is that okay, the thing I don't like about it is that it's all digital. I don't like that with appliances. I like manual
on,
appliances.
off.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
a switch.
Voltage control,
I'll
you
trade
know,
you.
like that kind of shit.
He wants potentiometers.
I'll
and
trade you. I have a blender
Switches.
that's got buttons on it.
No, I'm good, thanks.
It's a Hamilton Beach.
Nice. No, see the thing is like the two big ones are Vitamix and Blendtec pretty much. If I could have like the blade system from the Blendtec and the controls of a Vitamix, I would have the ultimate blender. Just saying.
All right, John, put more me in the camera. Give me this camera. All right, for all our people on the IRC, we've got two Nelsons, and they are this camera. They're completely different colors.
Holy shit!
That's
those are
that's
different.
incredible.
One of
Yeah.
them is like
Orange and one's
pale yellow, and one of them is orange. Yeah.
There's like, I want to use some crystal malts.
There's that Nelson. I love that hop so much, dude. Fuck.
Okay, the color alone just
Counter to the other one, the short glass, the lighter, cloudier one, because we have a taller, darker, clearer beer, and a short, light, cloudy one. The lighter, cloudier one has a much bigger aroma this time.
I don't know. I think they're pretty close. I think the short one is bigger, but I don't think it's as radical a difference as the
you
last
think
one.
the short one is
No, because
bigger.
the last one, the short glass, had no aroma.
Yeah, but I don't think that it's as much of a difference though. I think in this case, the short glass does have a bigger aroma, but it's not as radical. You know, I think the aroma on both of these is great. Wow. The
The
color,
short glass smells like a cleaner hop the big Belgian style glass has more of that weed aroma for me.
No.
Am I wrong? Like green weed,
Grassy. Yeah.
Did you try
Short
it yet?
glass is
Did you try it?
delicious.
The short glass is freaking unbelievably good.
Yeah, short glass is delicious.
Start with Mr. Short.
Big glass, yeah, no, the big glass definitely has more of that herbal, grassy thing happening for sure.
Bigger glass is also a little harsher with
So
a little
is-
bit of
is-
a booze kick on it.
Is that a tell for maybe, 'cause since Green Flash is using literally more hops, maybe they're getting that grass
It's all,
character?
it's all ratio. It would have more to do with like dry hop contact time and boil time and like that kind of thing. It doesn't have to do with like volumes or anything like that.
But it's a lot more hops. But it's a lot more.
It's a lot more hops and a
liquid.
lot more liquid. So it's all about ratios.
I'm mouth wrenching here.
What is it? That's
Yeah,
I
let me
don't know.
borrow some of that.
Can I ask when is Alpine still brewing at their
Yeah,
location?
that's the
Yes.
whole thing.
But
Like,
they just expanded into
Alpine
Green
brews
Flash?
at their brew pub.
Green Flash
Yeah.
bought them. So.
But so are they
The old
not
brewery-
brewing anymore? Or
No,
is it
they're
still
still there.
are.
Okay.
They are, but the business relationship changed.
Well, so they're only doing bottles from the Alpine brewery now, and all their kegged beer comes from Green Flash.
Oh, okay. So
And
this
so-
isn't like the time frame of when these were brewed were pretty close.
No, these were both fresh batches right from the
when you
brewery.
got okay.
They're
Yeah.
fresh, like
within
That's what
weeks.
they are.
Fresh.
Oh god.
Creme
Creme
fraiche.
fraiche.
Creme fresh.
I
Why was that
definitely
creepy to me?
the bigger glass definitely has that diesely Nelson thing happening. On the flavor.
so we haven't described small glass yet. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. I'm in love with the smaller glass one.
I agree. I think small glass wins far and
It's
away.
very fruity. It's
cleaner.
it's got a bitterness, but not as aggressive as what we're getting on either of the beers, the last ones. And I'm trying big glass now.
Yeah. Small glass. I think the aroma just
Still less aroma on the big glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the aroma on small glass like edges out big glass by a hair, but I think it still wins out.
These taste pretty similar though.
They taste close. Yeah.
The difference between these is nowhere near as big as the other beer.
yeah. For sure.
But the color, holy shit!
Yeah.
Again, more
color,
bitterness
definitely.
on the tall glass.
Yeah. I agree.
It's got a more bitter finish. Again, less aroma, which is interesting. Because if we're following the trend, we're going to say, okay, they're probably the same breweries,
Is the
right?
taller glass a little more creamy on the mouthfeel too? Like it's just a little. I don't know. It feels softer a little bit.
See, I disagree. I think that the big glass is more harsh. I think the small glass is more like gentle.
Definitely.
I hate to pile on, John.
All right,
but
let me taste it again.
I hate to.
Yeah, the bigger glass I definitely get that diesel-y sort of flavor. It's kind of harsh.
Maybe I'm thinking of carbonation. Like I feel like the small glass has. I mean, it's a little more prickly. It's not bad. It's perfect. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, the tall glass is, I don't know, a little bit less, a little softer to me. That's
Wow.
I think that's how I. You all disagree, but that's how I
Yeah,
process it.
no, for sure. I see for the Nelson. I think for me, small glass, like
Hands
100%,
down.
100%,
Wow.
hands down.
I would drink the shit out of this.
Yeah, I mean, like it's softer, it's more gentle, it has a better aroma. The bitterness is like
hop
more
flavor.
round. It's got better
It's
hop
more
flavor.
balanced. It's more citrusy. I think it's the same characteristic difference that we had in the last pair, but less pronounced. I think the bigger glass is a much closer version of the same beer, but again, more bitter. And this time, not less aroma. There's more aroma in the small glass this time. So
yeah, I agree.
it changes the choice.
Yeah, I mean the like you say, not as radical of a difference, but there is still definitely a difference. And small glass wins for me.
Big glass has
Easily.
less fruit, more bitter,
Yeah,
and less aroma. That's the main difference.
yeah. I'm ready for a reveal. What about you guys?
I am a fan of the small glass.
Yeah.
Small glass all the way around. We're all thinking Alpine or
I'm
what?
guessing the small glass is Alpine, so it'll be funny if we get surprised.
You're right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We did it.
So we guessed Alpine on this one. The last one was what now?
We were
You were
Green
Yeah.
Flash last
Last
time.
one was Green Flash, and so it's one is one and one is the other. So
the color differences on these were
striking,
pretty amazing.
striking.
So it looks like the Alpine brewed beers are a shade lighter than the Green Flash versions.
Yeah.
So that's a tell.
They're
and also
cloudier.
clarity is a tell as well.
Yep. Yeah. The for some reason fining isn't a thing at Alpine, I guess.
No, and that's what I said. The last time we were there, it was like, man, these are really fucking cloudy.
Yeah.
Like homebrew cloudy. Like not even
And
giving a shit
Nelson's-
cloudy.
Nelson's always been a cloudy beer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had a non-cloudy.
Well, the last time I was at Alpine, we were there all day and we drank every beer.
and compared to Green Flash's version of it, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Clarity.
Yeah, for sure.
This looks almost like a wit beer.
wanna hold it up to
compared
the camera?
Yeah, it's almost milky.
Yeah, this is like a wit beer. Oops.
It's all right.
Compared to like a normal IPA,
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite
so-
a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clarity wise.
Little bit of
I mean, I can't see through.
little bit of haze
glass at
still,
all.
but So yeah, what kind of conclusions can we draw from this here?
There's
I don't know.
definitely a clear difference in the beer. I still don't agree. I still don't agree with the whole idea that Green Flash ruined it. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, well those are shit batches and these are good batches.
Right.
But they're definitely not the same beer.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the same. There is a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
Big differences.
Much more than I expected. Really.
Blatant.
Do you think it's just
Blatant
because of the scaling?
Yes. Well, here's the thing though. Actually, no, I don't think it's because of the scaling. I think it's because they are making the same beer on two different brewing systems. And so if they were going from one 15 barrel to like another 15 barrel or something like that, that they would still have to make adjustments, And so the fact that they're going from a 15 to a 50, I don't think it's necessarily
I think Green Flash-
the volume. I think it's just a difference of two different brewing systems,
I
and
almost
they need to
think-
figure that shit out.
I almost think Green Flash took their recipe and said, all right, now we're going to make a beer recipe. And they said, this is the guideline and we're going to try to come close to it somehow. Like you can't, I don't know. I'm not a
And
professional.
I think
Honestly-
it's a little bit of a kind of a not quite dark secret, but almost to that level of breweries is that they're not always using the same hops. They're not using the same varieties. Like a lot of the big beers, they'll
Water
mix
profile.
it up to try to keep it close, but yields change year after year.
Yeah.
Hop availability changes, the
Yep.
amount of bitterness, the amount of flavor, the amount of aroma, and I think a big part of being a brewer at that scale is being able to adjust your raw materials to maintain a consistent product.
A good experiment also would have been to, if it would have even been possible, to try the Firestone Pliny and the Russian River Pliny.
Yeah, they didn't mark it. They didn't.
I don't even know if that's possible.
They didn't
because-
indicate that it was brewed at Firestone.
Yeah,
On it.
I mean, and you can't.
you can
that
tell by
would-
the date codes, but
unless they were brewing it together, like in parallel. You couldn't
you
compare
couldn't know, yeah.
because Pliny's going to be too old,
Yeah.
and Firestone's will be too fresh.
Yeah. See here, my thing, like the thing that I kind of have learned from this lesson is that Green Flash really needs to step it the fuck up with their sensory program because like
No, but
if
they
you-
have.
no
oh,
because okay
I'm
here's-
thinking of Lost Abbey.
because I mean here's the
Never
thing
mind.
like if it like obviously like Green Flash is going to be taking bottles and kegs of the beer that's brewed at Alpine. And they're going to be comparing it next to their beer. How did they not notice the difference? How do they not look at these two beers and say, "Oh, this is way too dark. We need to adjust that shit"?
Maybe they did, and it's still a
I've
work in
even seen-
progress.
that's basic shit.
I
to
have
me.
a keg that was given to me for free from a brewery that will remain nameless in Orange County that is not known for their quality control that they threw out because it was the wrong color.
Right.
So like even them, like, yeah, it is weird.
Yeah,
that they're
but when you're
getting-
brewing 50 barrels,
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
though.
and you're saying, yeah, they've had a year to dial it in, and I still think it's not enough time.
I still, and color at the very least. Color is easy to dial
A
in.
year is
Color is fucking
hold on.
easy to
I
dial
will
in.
give a year to
I'm with you there.
the guy brewing on Babby's first brew system, who just stepped up to a 1.5 barrel nano. But when you're a full scale production brewery, you don't need a year to dial in a batch of beer.
Yeah.
You should need like 3 batches of beer to dial it in, you know, or
And
like
then fine tune it from there.
Well,
but
yeah.
three to get certain specs in range, and then
Yeah.
you know, like when it comes to like see, the thing is like I have a lot more tolerance for, you know, differences in like hop aroma and stuff like that.
because
than I
that
do
could be
color.
day to day or week
Yeah,
to week.
because the thing about color is that like you know the range of, you know, color that your crystal malt's going to fall in, and so you can make adjustments very very easily. You know,
Brewing
when it comes
software
to
tells you.
yeah, well, and just, you know, just knowing just with experience, but like when it comes to, you know, like hop aroma and stuff like that, you know, oil concentrations and all that shit. That's all, you know, much that is not nearly as well studied and measured as color is. I mean, you know, you can measure color, you know, with a very simple, you know, lab process. When it comes to, you know, measuring the amount of volatile hop oils in your beer or something like that, that's way more difficult to do. And so color is way, way easier to adjust. And so the fact that these two are so different is really striking.
You're talking about the color and, but then the flavor in Nelson is pretty close. It's closer than Duet
yeah,
anyway.
it's
Yeah,
fairly close.
I agree.
To like close
Well, I'm
enough that
sorry.
I would say, would you say, if you were just talking flavor to flavor, Nelson versus Nelson, enough to say that it would be in line with batch variants?
Potentially, yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, you know, if like, you know, your pitching rate was slightly different, and so, you know, it came off as being a little bit more hot, or, you know, your numbers as far as your dry hopping weren't quite the same, and so one got more hops for the amount of volume versus another, then yeah, I could see that.
Duet, on the other hand, they didn't even have the same character. They
Yeah,
didn't have
it
the
was-
same flavor
It
profile.
was radically different.
They tasted like 2 different IPAs.
Yeah.
Again, to the point where we're like, can we go double check that we had 2 of the same
Yeah.
beer? And we had to accuse poor Yvonne, who is doing her job perfectly well.
who did an excellent job, by the way.
Thank you, Yvonne.
I'm not going to move the mic down so she can say.
But yeah, it's crazy how different they are.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, because I wanted to be like, fuck those guys on website and their fucking bullshit attitudes.
Me too.
And I'm like, fuck, they're really different.
Yeah.
They're really different.
Speaking of really different beers, real quick, you just poured some pure hoppiness.
Yeah.
This is like the kind of the beer that blew Alpine up.
And
Like
what's weird
double
is,
IPA.
is that they are not. The way I heard it, which is from fucking tasting room employees and shit, is that they weren't satisfied enough to let Green Flash brew pure hoppiness yet.
Wow.
Well, that kind of speaks.
Well, they weren't
Whoa.
they weren't allowing them to brew pure hoppiness yet.
Oh my God. There's
Well,
so
they weren't allowing them to brew it because when they brewed it, it wasn't good enough. Or
I don't know.
Okay.
Guys,
or-
this is so fucking
Actually,
hoppy.
and you know what?
it's
I may
pure
have heard.
hoppiness.
I may have heard
Holy
too.
shit.
And I may
Matt's
be
floating
mixing
right
up my
now.
stories. I seem to remember hearing something about that they might not have the ingredients available at scale too.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Especially if it's insane fuck you hoppy. Yeah.
Which this is insane fuck you hoppy. Like
This is the best
this
I've
is-
ever had this beer, by the way. I've
This
had
is-
it a few times, but
It's-
damn, it's good.
This is hoppy. Like
Holy
this is
shit.
like mouth shreddingly hoppy.
Yeah.
Like
So delicious,
holy
though.
fuck. Like this cheese. Like I actually like shuddered for a moment. Like it's so hoppy.
and then he had to change his shorts.
yeah.
John, did you get a pour of pure hoppiness yet?
Yeah, right here.
Can you hand me the bottle?
Oh, yeah.
Like good damn. Good damn. This is so fucking hoppy.
Going back to the SRM thing, I have this phone app called Beer Judge, and there's a thing where you can hold the beer up to light and take a photo of it, and it'll analyze the SRM.
Really?
And so the Green Flash one was an 8 for Nelson, and the Alpine one was a 6. So
Yeah, the 2 Nelsons. That's 2 points. That's
For the gold
lot.
range, though,
it's a
it's a
lot.
That sounds accurate
it's a
for
lot,
a
but-
stupid iPhone app. Like, it sounds like it's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you compare? If I give you a picture, can you compare?
no,
Well,
you
'cause
hold it up to the camera.
Take a picture of
the-
a stout.
The
and
two
then a picture
duets
of,
were really different.
yeah, well, I still have those.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, and that's sorry, and that's the thing that is really the most striking from this exercise is just how different the 2 duets were.
they look. You wouldn't guess you're getting. If you got 2 of those in a pint, you would not guess you have 2 of the same beer.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, and then again, like, so have you ever been served the wrong beer at a bar? Because I have
course.
a lot of times.
Yeah,
I,
of course.
time.
I had a bartender. I ordered Calm Before the Storm the other day, and I get a yellow pale beer that comes out, and I'm like, I ordered Calm Before the Storm. It's like, yeah,
That's it
that's
is.
Calm Before the Storm.
How is that beer?
No, it's not.
I thought it was.
No, it's
I thought it was a cream ale.
it's a cream ale.
It's a cream ale.
Yeah.
It's Naughty Sauce ripoff.
Yeah.
well, whatever I had was an IPA.
Okay.
There's no coffee in it. Okay. And I'm pretty sure it pours dark, even though it's cream ale.
No, it's a.
Is coffee?
I don't know. I've never had it. I
Big
can't.
difference on the duet. 13 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But anyhow,
Yeah, they
so
look different from
you
here.
get a beer and you're like, oh shit, I don't think that's the right beer. And then you smell it and you go, yeah, I don't think that's the right beer. And then you're like, but I don't want to be that asshole, so you taste it. But then these 2 beers like are to the point where if I was really used to getting one and I got the other, I'm like,
yeah, no, you would notice.
it would
Yeah,
trigger
see-
your like, did I get the right beer?
Yeah.
I am not that sensitive. I would get it and be like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Do you think that Green Flash should sell these in the tasting room as Green Flash Nelson and duet? And just in the debate?
No.
The Alpine brand is really valuable.
Well,
Well, that's the
it's-
thing. It's like, but it's not the same.
Well, but it's not even so much that. I think I think that they should sell them as Alpine beers, but I think they need to get their shit together. Like, more
That
than
would make
anything.
more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like,
until they do, definitely the asterisk,
I don't know.
the Barry Bonds
I don't know.
asterisk on it.
I don't know. It's an excellent question. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's interesting to see because I really went into this where we're like, we're gonna exonerate Green Flash. We're like, I'm tired of them catching shit, and I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah,
But
know,
the
I
beer
agree.
is still good.
They're
It's
still
still
really
really
good,
good, yeah.
beers, but it's like,
I mean, they're trying to copy another brewery, and I'm sorry, I still stand by my
yeah, but like say you
statement. I think
ordered,
that's a really hard thing to do.
but if you ordered like Pliny the Elder and it came out like this color, you're like, hold on, that's not Pliny the Elder. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like
It's
that.
it's definitely Beatles cover band.
Hey, yeah.
But I'm not going to hate on Green Flash.
I mean, I'm not hating on Green Flash.
No, and
still good beer.
I'm not saying anybody in here is.
Beatles cover band, the Fab
Matt,
Four.
you can't hate on Green
I am
Flash. Shut the
kinda,
fuck
yeah.
up.
I am
hate Green
kind of.
Flash, too.
I am kind of. No, I'm sorry. I'm not hating on them. Like, oh, they make bad beer. But I mean, like, looking at these 2 duets. I mean, just looking at these right now, they are so blatantly different in color. It's like, come on, like, you should know better. You should know better.
I'm sure they do know
know.
better, but I think it's a work in progress.
Again, color, like Matt is saying, at the very least, you can get your beer to look right.
Yeah, I mean,
I would challenge you to brew a beer I brewed on your system.
Do it, man.
Come
on, Jason.
Okay,
It's
okay,
Come on, Jason.
okay. Are you willing to put some money down on
All right,
this?
let's do this. Give me a recipe.
I'm just saying.
It's not literally my job. I'm gonna go on record there.
Hey, it is my job though. I want to take up this
wanna do
challenge.
it. That sounds fun to me.
How much you want to put down?
Why do we have to
$20.
bet?
$20.
How many? Okay, like how many batches would you give me?
Okay, let's
Okay,
calm down.
Okay, you
All
want
I'm saying is,
no. This is the thing. You want to brew a beer. How many batches would you give me to make it exactly the
Calmer than
same?
you are.
How many do you think it would take?
Calmer than you are.
3.
3? I think you could probably do it in like 2 or 3. Yeah, probably
2 or 3?
But it all comes down to what it tastes like, and it could there will be subtle differences because I ferment a certain way and you're going to ferment a certain way.
True. But
That's all I'm saying.
But the point is, it's like you give me 3 to make it the same. How many do you think that they've done?
I don't know.
You know, and so
And it's literally
like,
their job.
Yeah, and so I think it's very very striking. It really is. You know, I want to give them more credit, but it's like, guys, come on.
pretty big
I
difference.
I really came in here wanting to be like, look, everybody, stop talking shit on Green Flash. These beers are just as good. Suck a bag of dicks. You can eat a bag of cocks.
Yeah.
Dude, this
No.
Two
One
bags.
thing, now,
One for
thing,
sucking, one for eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do want to point out is that I don't think that as far as like, pure objective quality, that one is better than the other. They're just not the same.
Nelson's
No,
so-
which is a problem.
that's what I was trying to
Nelson's
say.
got
Which is a
better
problem.
quality to me.
The Nelson tasted like one was a
Wow.
better version of the same beer, and Duet tasted like we drank two different beers, both of which were good in their own ways.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
But that's weird. Where you're like, I'm drinking two beers that are both
They both
billed
have the
as
same
the
name.
same beer.
Definitely the cover band syndrome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like,
for sure.
Fab Four to the Beatles.
Yeah. Definitely.
Not bad.
Fab Foe.
The Fab Foe.
Fab Foe.
We are the Fab Foe.
The Beatles were the
Is that
Fab Four.
the Vietnamese cover version, like the Fab Pho?
Fab Four.
No, the Fab Foe
No,
is
that's
like
Pho.
Fab Pho.
F-A-U-X.
Fab Four.
Right? F-A-U-X? That's Pho. Pho.
Pho, yeah.
P-5
PHO.
Fum.
We're talking about like the food with
Yes.
the soup with
the
meat in it.
noodle dish. Jason, thank you for going out of your way. And,
P-H-O with things on it.
yes. Jason, thank you for going out of your way
Thank you, Jason.
to take care of this task because this was awesome.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Alpine, they had an event the last night I was in town, so I'm in Carlsbad. Then Friday night they're like, Alpine event at Carlsbad Bottle Shop, Pizza Port. I'm like, oh, dope. And I got to try their collab beers, both of which were like pretty good.
Nice.
They weren't amazing. I was like, Pizza Port and Alpine are joining forces. It's going to be the best IPA I ever drank. I was like, oh, no, these are just good.
Yeah.
But they did have all the bottles that I drove to Alpine for them. 5 miles from my hotel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks, man.
No worries.
This is quite delicious. If you want to find us online, you can find us on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter,
We
Instagram.
say Snapchat all the time, but we're never on Snapchat.
We should get on Snapchat.
Let's say Instagram. We're pretty badass on
Yeah,
Instagram.
go on Insta. We're on there a lot.
I just got a new camera and like I'm killing it on Instagram right now. We're not getting nearly enough love.
He is insta crushing. You can find all of that information on fourbrewers.com. If you want to support the show, you can go on patreon.com/fourbrewers and give us money for each show.
Money.
50 cents, $1,
Like, so
$5, whatever you want.
For what happened here, Jason drove all the way down to Alpine specifically for this show to get these beers, and that's not free. And like, I think this is a question
There's
that
a have to fucking be.
So if you want to support activities like Jason's, you can.
we did this for you,
yeah.
and us.
I really
and
did
us.
drive to Alpine just so I could have the beers for these shows. Yeah.
And it was worth it. It was worth it.
Nelson's so good.
Yeah. Go on iTunes and give us a rating. We want to know what you think. You should tell us. If you want to get in touch with us directly, you can hit us up at feedback@fourbrewers.com and brew the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Ayo.
The Green Flash.
Alpine. Green Flash.
You'd know if you were a slam right now because your balls would be on the table and my fists would be covered with your fucking blood.
What?
Your balls would be on the table and my fists would be covered with your fucking blood.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
No, dude, take the fucking blood one and slow it down. Slow it way down.
Yeah. I just want to ride my motorcycle. Cool.